Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Hi. Hey.
What's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com. R&B and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the...
Right. And just like that, it is Thursday all over again. And it is Get It Together on Hot 702.5 FM. And right now you got your host Jnine. We have a really good show today. We have quite a few guest hosts, and we're gonna keep it real. We're gonna keep it real. Period. We're gonna keep it real tonight. We really are. I'm really excited about what we are going to be talking about. But in the meantime, in between time, it is Thursday, and it's Jnine here. Get it together. We got Jezzi and Jay in the house, and I'm sure as everybody moves into it, we're gonna get into it.
Hey, girl.
Hey.
What's happening?
Hey, happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
What up?
It is. Here we go. So right now, I think it's just the three of us. But as we move into bringing everybody into the room, we're going to take a moment to breathe. We're going to do what we do.
Ooh, yes.
Time to breathe. Breathe in, breathe out, and shake that shit off. Whatever happened before now, we are living in this moment. Like right now, right here, right now. In this moment. Because that's all we have is moments. That's all we have. So,
it's been a long week.
I got to take another one.
I think that is the theme of the week.
What's that theme?
It's been a long week for everybody.
It's been a long week. Yeah.
That super blue moon ain't no joke out here.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
And the Pisces, what's it called? In my era.
Yeah, that's where the romanticism comes to surface. It's that Pisces influence.
We shook up the week.
All right.
We shook up the week.
Yes.
Well, it is definitely Thursday, and we are in the house. It is Get It Together with Jnine.
And Jezzi.
And Tay.
That's right. And it's another Thursday at 6 o'clock, and I'm so glad y'all joining us. I want to quickly, so now that I just feel like I just need to have breathers. Like everybody breathe.
Come on.
Because there's two things that need to happen. Possibly three if you can get it, especially if you're in Las Vegas. You have to be able to develop breathing therapy. It's a therapy. It's a lifestyle. Yep. To be able to hear your breathing, pace your breathing, pay attention to your breathing, get you a lot of water, and some of that vitamin D. Either one.
Both.
All of the above. All of
both
would be good.
Wait a minute.
All.
Wait. This is what Alabama say. We do have Alabama in the house, so Alabama say all of them.
All of them.
Arrest all of them. Get all of them. Yeah. So I'm gonna read an insert from my book. I'd rather read it now than wait to the end because I have a feeling it's gonna tie into what we're gonna be talking about today, and it's called "Living in the Shadows." And I'm gonna skip to one particular part. The title to this chapter is called Living in the Shadow. And what I mean by that is, this will enlighten you on what we're talking about. So, I met a man who refused to date dark-skinned women, because the major loves in his life were light, complex women. And his experience with the few dark-skinned women were catastrophic, let him tell it. He chalked that up to light-skinned women only, and dark-skinned women was sure to bring him problems. He didn't waste his time either. It took only a few failures before his light bulb went off. Whether he was wrong or right, he was adamant that and could not be convinced otherwise. It didn't matter that the light-skinned women brought just as many problems and were ones who broke his heart. He felt that it was the way things were to be. Bottom line to me was that he was only attracted to light-skinned women and he had a problem with anyone else. But that wasn't what I was trying to read. I wanted to read. So, my dad loved my mother until the day he died, literally. He would tell anybody and everybody about his love for my mother and how he would take her back. Every woman that came after my mother, because this ties into what we're going to be talking about today. He would tell any and everybody about his love for my mother and how he would take her back. Every woman that came after her never quite measured up in his mind.
Sound like the echo.
Because she wasn't my mother. The fact that she was his first love from junior high to high school, and then he married because of his, and the marriage ended due to his infidelities. He lived in the shadow till the day he died. Lord rest his soul. The good part about his undying love for her was that he had no problem telling it, but more importantly, he had no problem telling what he did wrong. So I bring that up to say, my dad lived in the shadow of a failed marriage, and the woman that he loved eternally. So every woman that he took on after that never quite measured my mother. She never quite measured what mom brought to the table. And so he mistreated those women. Even though he chose to either marry them or be in a relationship with them, he mistreated them. And they didn't know it necessarily, because he never told them that he was still in love with my mother. But they suffered as the second or the third in his life. So I say that because today we're going to be talking a little bit about the Steve Harvey and Marjorie situation. And then I'm going to let you guys kind of take off, because I have pretty much done a good introduction. But the name of that title in my book is called Living in the Shadow, because it surfaces on, if you cannot heal from the past, you will be living in the past and you may not even realize you're there.
Real talk.
So you might ask, why the Steve Harvey and Marjorie situation? Why do we care? Well, really, we don't. That's not our business. Our business on Get It Together is promoting health and wellness and eating good and living good and everything you can do in Vegas and healthy shit, right? Yep. But we care because it drills down to our community, how we see our celebrities, and so much more. So I want to introduce right now undrafted all-stars in the house. I don't see them on my screen.
Yay.
I can hear them.
I see SUGE. I see myself.
And
There you go.
So welcome.
Hey,
ladies. It's been a long time.
Welcome.
What's up, Jez?
It's been a minute. Good to see you.
How y'all doing?
What's going on?
Pretty good.
I seen y'all at a wedding.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
Y'all was eating all the food.
Yes.
That's right.
Drinking all the drinks.
I was trying to
Celebrating Black love, honey. Celebrate. I was waiting on the meal that I selected in my invitation and shit. I thought there was going to be more, so I took the tacos as an intro.
She said, this is the appetizer. Where my meal
Then
at?
when I realized the meal wasn't coming, I went and got my shit, and I was like, hook me up on them tacos.
Right.
It was dinner. So introduce yourself, guys. Men, kings.
Big SUGE, a.k.a. SUGE Dosha the Great, a.k.a. Mr. Tell Your Friends About Me, with my co-host.
Q MECCA, 2 texts up. You know, Tragic gon' hold you down. Rest in peace to Tragic.
Tragic.
Yeah, so.
Marcus.
So anyway, let's not waste no time, because time is of the essence, and we know time moves fast.
Yes, it does.
You are the co-host tonight, so we are going to give you a lot of the floor as men, and yes, we are.
So nice to get a different perspective.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So we're talking about, right now we're going to talk about Steve and Marjorie. And the reason we're talking about it is because even though it's rumored that she cheated on Steve, it's also the idea that unsolicited Steve gave us a lot of relationship advice for
Right.
Black women especially single women, how to think like a man. I never agreed with that concept, but I'm going to hold my thoughts for now. So what I want to do is just introduce, first of all, we're going to be talking about everybody individually. Just take it away. And I think I'm going to move from left to right. Tayaz, you have any thoughts about Steve and Marjorie?
When you really dig into the past of Marjorie and just their whole relationship, you're just like...
What's her past?
Well, she went through some things. She been through some men who had money, some drug lords, she just had a hell of a past. And it makes you look at Steve a little different because he just seemed like this humble man who didn't have a history, because she found ways of getting him to have their son not love what was it with the son?
Yeah, she manipulated him, and Steve wound up with him. So they snatched he snatched the son from her.
Right.
Now, how he did it or why he did it, we don't know. You know, we don't know what his wife's past is, but what we do know is they didn't encourage that relationship. So she was without her son for years.
Right. So it's a lot when you dig into it. Your
not
jaw
know that.
drops.
Yeah, I didn't dig all into
I did not know
stuff
that.
like that. I really didn't. So I
Yeah,
just
you
thought
probably
he
didn't,
was
'cause
trying to promote the black love thing because he was so happy in black love and he had found what he was looking for. That's where I picked him up at. You know, I didn't dig into history like that, so that's good to know.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna skip over the SUGE.
She made it look like, yup, I did that.
I mean, I want you to give a summation of how you feel about the overall, what you know about it, what you feel about it, and then how does it affect us? Like, why do we care?
Because we see him every day. That's why it matters. And the way he been shooting out, I ain't gonna say that shooting out. He been putting out positive stuff.
That nigga been.
He been.
Okay.
He has a side that he put out positive stuff. He has a side that he put out relationship stuff. And I tell people, don't listen to this fool. I say that when it comes to that. But he does have some positive stuff as far when it comes to life. But relationship, don't listen to him. I just know he on his third marriage, and I knew the story of how he got her and all that. Hearing this is like, you know. But go ahead.
I think that the problem I have is the way he was telling people how they should run a relationship and why his is so successful. That's the key. Like when you put yourself on a high horse, you always gonna fall off that horse.
Look at me.
Yeah, look at me. Or you guys ain't doing this right. You supposed to treat a woman like this. I do all this, and then the outcome is what the outcome is. So then you looking at him like, okay, you said I thought you did everything right. So then what happened? So my thing is always be humble with yourself and remember that relationships are two different people, different dynamics, and they got to find their way or their fit for each other. You can give guidelines, but Steve was acting like he was preaching and telling people, "Oh, this is why you fucking up. This is why you wrong. This is why yours ain't working." He was coming at people on a high horse, instead of, "Hey, try this," or suggestions. He was like, "Oh, you wrong." Just same thing like the Derek dude. Derek Jackson. The problem is when you
it's the Jackson.
The problem is when you don't be honest and you pander to either sex. If the women pander to the man or the man pander to the women, we ain't gonna get honesty and we gonna get real authenticity. We gonna get pretentiousness, like, oh, my relationship good, I'm better than y'all. But then when you fail, or when your relationship fail, or when you do something, or when the truth come out, now you look crazy. So I always think that you should be humble when you speak and understand that everybody has different dynamics. Like your way might not be the way for everybody.
Right.
So my problem with Steve is, I was gonna come on here and kick him while he was down, but I don't want to kick a black man while he's down. My problem with Steve is, you needed to humble yourself and understand that relationships are complicated, and still people have emotions and feelings and a lot of things. And just because you doing the things that you think or she told you that she wanted, that you thought was going to work, you still ended up with a bad result. And It says she's trying to divorce you and take half your money.
Take half. That's the problem that I had.
She wasn't going without it.
And that was my thing.
That's the problem I have.
And so, but if you think about where she came from, she had drug lords. Like these were drug lords. Like she was named Lady Heroin.
Yeah.
Because she was part of an investigation where her man did 28 years. So the story behind that is she got first of all, she married the man. After she met Steve didn't have his money up. So she left him. She went and got involved with this dope dealer who wound up doing 28 years. He got life. He protected her, but let's go back. She married him. He was already married when she married him. So I don't know that their marriage was legitimate. Right. But it probably gave her that protection under the law that she couldn't testify against her man, her husband. She apparently he was going to leave her. And she stopped taking her birth control. Got pregnant with Lori.
Keep a nigga baby.
That's what we call keep a nigga baby.
And
I got
true definition.
And so listen, that was a smart move on her part because he took the rap. He took the whole rap. He got life. Obama pardoned this man. Obama pardoned him somewhere around 2017 on his way out of the office, like he did Lil D.
Yep.
Lil Daryl from Oakland, he pardoned Lil D. It was that same pardon because he got 3 people to pardon. Marjorie's ex-husband, was one of them men.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
So now he's out talking.
Oh, he talking?
He said, and he said that at some point when she was going to finally leave him, she pretty much said, Steve has his money up and he's ready for me and I'm going back. And he was like, go on and do your thing. So she was still fooling with him.
She told him this?
That's what he said in his interview, that they were talking up until the point that they damn near got married.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
So anyway, I lay that platform, Jezzi, you up.
That's girl, I didn't know anything about what you just said. I'm pretty still. You just gonna throw me up there like that, but I don't know. I didn't take much advice from him either. I'm out here trial and error myself. So, and I don't look up to entertainers and their relationships because they're usually, when they're in the spotlight like that, falling apart is inevitable. So that's why I've never really looked up to him because I don't know too many that have weathered the storm, and the few that do aren't running around telling everybody else how to make their shit work.
That's a fact.
He wrote a whole book.
That's a fact. The successful relationships are the ones that don't get talked about.
Speaking of successful relationships,
Method Man said that. He's like, how you and your wife stay together 21 years? He's like, we don't talk about it to people.
LeBron and his wife.
Right.
It's a lot of them. Snoop
and his wife. Snoop and his wife.
Ice Cube.
And you know what?
Ice Cube and his wife.
And then I went as far as to look at Aisha and Steph. Steph is now the number 1 paid NBA player, 82 games. Let alone if it's the playoffs. That's 82 games he's playing per year. And Aisha, guess what she did? She got busy.
Yep.
She started doing,
better
she
ever
opened
since.
businesses. She went in. So let's talk about that. And we're going to have a roundtable discussion about boredom. Because the rumor is she cheated with the chef. And she cheated with the bodyguard. I don't know if he was the bodyguard or if he was the personal trainer. Either way, the man probably was more buff.
3 titles.
He was that pool man that the lady said on, if you could trade your husband in, what would it be? And she told Steve it would be the pool man.
And the chef.
Well.
So let's talk about that because boredom or too much time alone, men that travel, successful men travel. A lot of successful men travel because they're not home a lot,
exactly.
Especially when we're talking about sports and entertainment and all that stuff. And so I ain't see Margie do shit.
Right. Yeah. She wasn't doing anything. That is the key.
That is the key.
So that's the key even for children. If your children at home, they ain't doing nothing, they got to get in the games, get pregnant, all that's going to happen.
Right.
So we're going to do this round table. And Taylor, take that. Because, as a wife or a girlfriend, you need to find something to do to keep, because I think everybody has the opportunity to cheat.
Exactly.
I think what I mean, because
time on her hands, she had too much variability. She's not doing nothing. Her man ain't home. This man is
he's
cooking.
Right, cooking. Y'all getting
closer.
Do you think he reached up? Because when you look at his two other wives, they're not as pretty as Marjorie. One of them is very homely.
Oh, no. She the baddest.
When you say reach
Absolutely.
up, do that mean look-wise or personality?
Well, I think it was look, because she said he was stumped at the concert. He walked up. I've done that to a few comedians, too. They stopped their whole shit like, who is that? Right. That's what he did. She came in late, came up to the front, and she said basically that he had stopped the whole show, and everybody started looking at her like, why is he not doing his comedy?
Oh.
And he said, I don't know who this woman is, but she's going to be my wife.
Oh.
Sure enough.
So he reached up. I don't think she was in his league, so that's why he put her on the pedestal. But Taylor, take it.
Yeah, I think we all should have something to do. I don't care how rich we might be. Figure out something, make your own money, get out there, find a hobby. I don't, like we said, she was probably bored at the house with these men coming in, whether it be the personal trainer, both of them at the same time. Who knows what happened in that house?
Right.
I mean,
People be on all type of stuff these days. But, yeah, it was just too much time on their hands. And you compare it to Aisha, yeah, she has all kind of stuff going on. Shoot, I got her cookware.
We didn't know who Aisha was. No. We knew who Steph was. But we didn't know who She made her name. She made a brand. She made businesses. She's making her own money. She's representing herself, and she's representing her husband.
And even if you're not, I don't think everyone who's at home cheats, but she just needed to find something to do. Or let him go. Well...
No, you don't really let the money go. That's why she's acting.
Right.
And listen, if you make it 10 years, it's automatic. It's automatic.
You know they know the rules.
How long they been
married?
Rules.
You know they know the rules.
A long time.
Really?
And Steve adopted all 3 of her children.
Yeah, that's why they got his
and
last name,
He
right?
might have been known she been cheating. It just got out. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
That could be possible.
He been known.
Thank you.
It just got out.
That could be definitely possible.
Yeah.
We didn't even think about it
people
like
think
that.
it just happened.
All right, well, Suge, take it.
Yep.
I think.
Give you a good intro. Go.
Like the Aisha Curry thing is cool. What she's doing is cool because Steph is a basketball player. He's an athlete. Steve is on stages and stuff.
And he ain't not good.
We've talked about this, like relationships.
He's not a good-looking dude.
I think
he's cool, but
the man and woman should do things together outside of work. If it's build a business or do a hobby together, like bowling and fucking throw axes or whatever you want to do.
I agree.
But you should do something together outside of work.
Yep.
And we didn't
What
see
Steve
that.
Harvey is doing, why is she not exec producer on all of his shit? Why she ain't in the studio?
Right.
Or they could have a podcast together, something like that.
Right.
Something. You do something
Just
with the
something
girl.
together that builds your bond. I agree with that.
But at the same
Like-
time, all the stuff he's doing, she's not ED on one of those things.
But maybe he don't want to,
Learn that shit.
or she didn't want to be a part of it, or he didn't want her to. But I agree with you. If you don't do nothing, you should find your passion. If you got the money and you got the
got the
opportunity
money.
and the time and the freedom, you should find what you love to do, and you could do that. And I guarantee you would pass the time. Your mind won't wonder, or you be calling him all the time, talking about what you doing, I'm bored, all that. So I agree with you. And then outside of your own passion and his work, y'all do something together. I agree with that. My uncle do that. Shout out to my uncle and my auntie.
That's
They've been married for
you learn each other more
43 years.
when you do stuff together.
Okay, but this is the thing.
Right.
She left him when he didn't have the bag.
Right. So
She came back when he
when
got
he
the
did.
when he
a
got
fact.
the Steve
He
Harvey
knows.
show.
He know that.
He knows.
He know that.
He'll
That's
sell.
not-
He'll sell.
Yeah.
Let's keep it 100. He'll sell.
That's facts. That's one thing I don't like about him.
That's why
you
we-
was a simp, and now you trying to tell other people how to have good relationships.
Because you won.
That's wild. That's
you-
wild to me.
you
Because
won.
because you had money.
Well, you were winning.
Jezzi, let Jezzi.
Tricking on him. But if he saw her and knew she was the one, he didn't mind tricking on her. A lot of men feel like that.
That's
But
true.
to get
But
that
if she
money,
left
they
you-
know they can get the woman they want versus the woman they settling for when they get that bag. You know?
That's facts. But if she left you when you didn't have it and then came back and you accepted her,
Yeah.
like Suge
Well,
said,
He went and
He
saved
get
her.
what he got. He get what he
finished.
got.
He
Exactly.
accomplished what he supposed to accomplish with her. She's done with him.
Right.
or she didn't really fuck with him like that outside of the money.
Right. And he knows that. That's
okay,
what I'm saying.
We got a few comments.
He's got to know that.
MJ's in the house. What's
Hey,
happening,
MJ.
MJ?
Hey.
So he said Steve is an absolute successful entertainer, and we give him that. Because we're actually going to talk about that, how the black community supports and how we can tear down. But nothing else matters more. The relationship and the thousands of gigs he got is still about that, him getting his bag. I get that. What else did you say? Regardless of what his wife is doing or will do, he'll be all right. By the way, I'm not a Steve fan. And then he said, you know, he may be super controlling, and I can see that because what I've learned about super controlling men is that they put their woman on a pedestal and they start talking about that's mine right there. You know, I don't know about what y'all got going on, but that's mine right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I want my man to feel that way, but what I don't want you to do is put me in a place that when I'm fallible. Right. So I want you to love me unconditional, and you know you can love me like a pedestal, and I present all that, but don't stick your chest out like I got what you want, and this is the perfect model of what a relationship looks like. And now I don't want us to fall like that. So you got to be careful about putting people on pedestals.
Yeah, I agree.
But he said Steve knew she was a trophy wife and he treated her as such, him. And that's the bottom line. So he did get a trophy wife. She was arm candy. He had no intention on necessarily putting her on the payroll, at least her name wise, and keeping her busy. He thought that, you know, that's what a trophy wife does. She sits at home. And she waits for you. She, you know what I'm saying? She's supposed to serve you when you come home or whatever have you. That's a trophy wife. Right. She looks pretty every time I put the camera on. Right. She makes me look good.
And that's cool, but then look what happens with your trophy wife. You was doing everything, putting her on the pedestal, making sure she don't got to work.
You going to work, and then she cheating with the people that you hire.
And maybe that's why he hired him. I mean, a personal trainer, a chef, you know what I mean? A bodyguard. Any one of those three characteristics is probably a really good guy. You know what I'm saying? Either he's physically fit, so he's going to tear that thing up, and she going to be one, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, I heard about you personal trainer niggas. You ain't you a personal trainer? Personal trainers be getting. Shout out to my homeboy Mike. What up, nigga?
Shout out to Mike.
Yes, I'm a personal trainer. If you need service, hit your boy up. I'm dropping off gmail.com.
Hello.
But yeah, I think that my problem ain't that he got a trophy wife. It's that he tried to talk down about other people's relationships.
Where we bring
That's
down
the problem to me. It ain't all that stuff that MJ said was cool. Laughing. What E said was cool, but the fact that you tried to look down on other people, that is where, to me, I ain't like that part. And whenever you do that, God is going to humble you. He's going to bring you down.
Talk about it.
And to me, when that happens to you, you should accept that.
Embrace it.
Realize that I was wilding. I was too on my high horse. I had to come down and then do better next time, and then have grace and understanding from everybody.
And that's what's going to make us lose the respect for him
if he don't do that.
Yeah, we don't care if the rumor's true or not, because quite frankly, you ain't paying no bills.
Right, it ain't our business.
It ain't our business.
It's more about example of how you could put yourself on a high horse and look down on other people, and then you come down. So then now you got to be deal with that.
And you made a bag off of it.
Like, and you made a lot of money.
Whole bag off of telling people and how women how to act. You made a whole movie off of it, and now he don't care. He was paid off of how he rode the high horse.
Right. And I ain't mad at that. Get your money, but
I'm not mad at that either.
I just think that we got to be more understanding amongst each other. Like he said, like MJ said, we tear down black people, but those are the same celebrities would tear down regular, everyday people. He made his money off basically doing that. So we should have grace for all of us and understanding. That's why I'm trying to kick his back in. Right. But he got to learn a lesson from this, is what I believe.
What you say, JS?
I was thinking, I was wondering, what Monique saying, but she ain't one to kick somebody while they down. However, she may have a word.
That's a dig. That's a dig. She might have a word. Because he told her how to.
Did her.
That's true.
And now she's sitting back watching all right.
Nigga, what?
I was just about to say.
Yeah, she might be cheering for his downfall. She might not say nothing, but she might be in the background see, that's what you get.
Right. Actually, she was fully justified in everything Monique went for. When she went for the money, when she went for Netflix, when she went for Steve and Oprah, when she went there, she actually wound up getting justified. All she had to do was sit back.
Oh, that's dope then.
Stand her ground. Netflix came back and paid her appropriately, and she did a Netflix special. She's still working with Tyler. She's still working, you know what I mean? All the doors wound up opening back up. But Steve was the one trying to be the middleman, and he was like, why don't you just understand that you need to get your money? And she was like, no, this is principle, nigga. This is principle.
Yeah, sometimes he get involved into things that you shouldn't get involved in. Or at least not publicly.
Right.
And
you
talk
called
to her
the
privately.
show.
Right.
You know, he did a couple of interviews, later, lately that he looking down on people.
Yeah.
Like, and that was kind of hurt me about that.
Yeah, that's the thing that bothers me.
Dude, you made it. Chill out.
Right. And then stop looking down. Help people, bro.
Right.
Tell people you could do it you don't have to be, like a lot of my people be like, oh, I'm brutally honest. And I'm like, look up the word brutality.
Yeah.
I said, that's not something you want to be with people, and people they're not going to be acceptive to what you're saying if it's brutal. You can be honest and considerate. You can be honest without being harsh.
Right.
I think we need to practice that with each other. It's called Nonviolent Communication. It's a book, y'all. I read it. Check it out.
Go check out
Nonviolent Communication.
I think that's
I might need that one.
Yeah, I think that's a great skill. But, we're going to bring it on home as that pertains to us, because what is cheating? And what does that mean? And when I say what is cheating, what is that? Okay, so we're in a day and age where everything is accessible. People are accessible. Right. People are dispensable. If I don't like what you're doing, I'm on to the next because my DM is full. Okay, so now you find somebody that you're interested in and you're vibing with. How do we feel about the whole cheating concept? And is cheating enough to dissolve a full marriage? Because if Steve is going to take this one, if he's going to take this L, then that means he's probably not. They're not going to speak on it, and they're going to work on it in private, which is what he needed anyway.
What they should do.
Absolutely.
Right? So we're going to have a round table. We're going to do this again. We're going to go around.
We'll start with the men this time.
We're going to start with Jezzi this time.
Jezzi.
Yep. So as
it
concerns the black community,
cheating as a whole, cheating to me, I've always looked at as a choice. Because just like monogamy is a choice, you have to choose to want to do right by your significant other. Just like you got to choose to get up and go to work every day, or you're not getting paid. You got to choose to want to do these things, and you know what the repercussions are if you do them. But it's your choice, and to me, I just don't feel like you should get in if you know you're not prepared to make that choice to commit to somebody and choose to be faithful, let's not commit, and hence, those situationships. But I'm just saying, if you know that's not in you, don't even make that choice, to settle down and say, I'm gonna be monogamous. And if you do, be honest about it. I mean, maybe talk to your partner. Maybe you shouldn't have settled down with them if you can't talk to them. So there's a lot to consider,
That being able to talk to your partner, because if I ever get to the point where I feel like I need to cheat and I'm in a relationship, I want to be as close to my partner enough to say that my needs are not being met in this area, and allowing them the opportunity to fix it. And I'm the type of person where I'd rather walk away. I'd rather say this isn't working, or give me a moment to breathe, or I'm not happy. And then I'm not one to keep piling on hurt and dragging that into something else. So I need to finish one before I start another one.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where people make the mistake. They start venturing out when they haven't resolved what they have going on in their situation. And so the other person looks at it as cheating, but the other person was gone already.
Yeah.
I can get into this one, but I'm not going to do it.
Let's have it. We going clockwise or counterclockwise.
All right, so I think that cheating also is a choice. I don't know if monogamy is inherently natural for human beings. I think that all of it is a choice. Monogamy, cheating, all of it. So, and it happens often. The stats say that 7 out of 10 men cheat on their wife, and 6 out of 10 women cheat on their husband. So, the stats say that it happens. It's the rule more than it's the exception. The question is, why does it happen so often? And I think that there's a lot of reasons. I think that we be conditioned to think that we have to marry somebody, that marriage is the key, that it's got to be monogamous. This is what I found. I've been observing. I found that when we are in our 20s and we're in relationships, we've been told that you've got to be monogamous and you should be married, and we fight that and we go through the bullshit, cheating, getting back together, our 20s, 30s, and then if you able to stay with somebody through those things. When you get to your 40s, your middle age. I remember the first time I ever went to the Green Door. Shout out to Green Door right over there. I was 25, and I was looking around like, where are the 25-year-olds around here? It's all middle-aged people. I'm middle-aged now. So what I found is when you get older, you start realizing that, oh, this is my partner. I love them. We've been through all of it. But we just going to open up our relationship and have it that way because we're family. We've been together 25 years. We've been together since we was 20 and we 45 or whatever the case is. So we've been together 25 years, the ups and downs, and we realized that we good friends. We work well. We take care of our children, but we just going to spice our bedroom life up. So that's what I think people do. And I was listening. Melissa Ford said that. She was like, when I was young, cheating used to be the #1 deal breaker, but I always took them back when they cheated when I was young, and now I'm looking at it like it's not the top thing that's the most important thing to me on my list of what's important to me in a relationship.
That's funny you should say that because it feels like women or men who pounce on their significant other who cheats actually lose the value of being able to understand what are we going through.
Exactly.
Because you now want to pounce on them. You know, how dare you
and you
cheat
judge
on
it
me.
so harshly.
And
yes.
and then you're like, and now you better walk on ice for me.
Yeah, now you got to do everything I want
bow
you to
down
jump
to
through
me
loops. Yep.
Instead of saying, hey, what are we missing here?
Yeah.
And that sex sometimes is just an act.
Exactly.
It's not necessarily a bunch of feelings and emotions, and women need to understand that part. Just because you're having sex does not mean you are obligated to that man, and we tend to do that.
But I also agree with you that we need to talk about it. Like, if I'm married and my wife cheated on me, it's not a divorce, it's a talk. Hey, what was going on that you felt you needed to do that? Right. Now, if you don't know why you're doing shit, then we got a
problem.
Yeah. But if you could tell me what was going on, how you didn't feel like you talked to me, or you talked to me and I ignored it, then we can work on it.
Right.
So my thing is always about understanding.
Because that's a lot of
just because you cheat don't mean you stop loving somebody or they stop loving you or whatever.
A lot of times that cheating is based on that second person, the person that you actually missed, and they happen to come back and you're in a relationship now.
Right.
But I still want you. I still want that. That is very common.
Wow.
Right.
That's facts. So it's always about conversation and having an understanding. If you messing with somebody, you should be able to talk to them about whatever's going on.
Yep.
And it's not true.
Or you with the wrong person.
If you can't talk to your people about what you want or your desires, then that means you're going to act them out behind their back.
That part.
That's what happens.
All right, Suge.
I agree with you.
Right.
Everything he said.
But there's more to that because.
What did you want me to answer?
So we started off kind of with that boredom of women at home that's married, right? And you talked about them needing to. But now all of that is going on and she still cheats or he still cheats. Is that one-time cheating
a deal breaker?
Is that the deal breaker for you now? I mean, we're grown out here in these streets and we're evolving as people in terms of controlling people. That controlling. I need to control your body. I need to control, my love for you, and you need to do this. Right. How do you feel about that? Is cheating a deal breaker?
I'm going to say it depends, but most of the time it is.
Men are much more harsh when it comes to cheating than women. Women forgive men often, often, a lot of chances. Men be like, fuck that, all women ain't shit now.
And what is that? Is that because you couldn't imagine your woman with someone else physically?
Yeah, men also that is just,
she's tainted now?
Well,
men look at it as tainted.
Tainted, but you still your girl, you got to walk around with her knowing you got an egg on your face. You know what I'm saying? The disrespect of cheating.
That women have been doing for years. So we
get it.
That's why it's important
for men.
But that's why it's important that if you are going through those type of problems in a relationship, to keep it in. Exactly. Don't go on social media. Don't go tell everybody, because then it won't be that.
That's one thing I'm gonna say. That's why you say maybe.
Right.
Because if people don't know,
then you can work on it.
Maybe you can work on it behind closed doors.
But you cheated with my brother, bitch.
But if you tell everybody.
But if the family everybody know now, can't bring her to the family barbecue.
Because just like she said a few minutes ago, maybe they knew already. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because sometimes
that could be their thing.
Well, such cheating on you, then be like, we gotta break up.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe she didn't have them men sign an NDA, like, non-disclosure, and so they started. Maybe that's where it started, because I can't see her talking about it. And if you're my private trainer, who knows but me and you?
Right. And men usually hold that down. We don't usually go.
I'll be
tell them that woman to woman. That y'all made that up. That's cheating. Woman to woman is I'm gonna tell on you so I can mess this shit up. Man, we don't do that. We can see you out with your man and be high and then hit you on the text. We don't go to your man like, hey, I'm talking to your girl. Man to man, I'm coming to you. Man to man, I'm coming to you, telling you that me and your girl be sleeping together. We don't do that.
Women be
that should be confusing to men when that shit happen. We be like, why did you do that?
We had
a thing.
Right. She said men are the biggest gossipers.
She said men are
That's true.
Listen, I worked in a warehouse full of men, and I swear the juice was thick.
They are.
And these are mentally men too. These wasn't the little, fairies and shit. These was real mentally men.
Girl, I can pay your bill.
But Charles said a relationship is always an experiment. It's 2023. Social media changed the game.
It changed the game significantly,
so
especially in the cheating part.
It only did it publicly.
I think one has done this because of where it is now.
Yeah,
I think it's only publicly because grandpa and grandma cheated on grandma. Got kids in the next neighborhood. All kind of shit, but it wasn't social media.
It's been happening.
But this is the thing though. You get caught cheating, you go back, right?
Right.
Do you know the shit you have to go through just to keep her equal? Not happy, just equal. Going through your phone. Where you going?
She gonna make
That's
you jump
what
through
I'm
hoops.
talking about.
Yeah, I'm not jumping through hoops. If you say you forgive me, then we gonna have to start from a clean slate and trust each other. I'm not jumping through no hoops because then
you know what you gotta go through. You go back.
Yeah, I know.
It ain't gonna be the same.
You're right. It's never gonna be the same. You gonna go to the bathroom. She gonna call you. Where you at? What you doing?
And you she say, "Let me see you."
You go to the store.
You gotta give it to her. You gotta give it to her.
Yeah, you right. Fuck all that. He right.
But don't you think there's a certain allowance that the person that cheated should actually grant the person that you hurt? There should be a certain amount
to an extent, but it should be reasonable.
It should be reasonable, but it should be a certain amount of vulnerability or openness that you provide so that they can start building the trust again, and now we can take off from here.
Absolutely.
So I think what happens is mofos get haughty. Like, yeah, bitch, I cheated, and what? And yeah, you took me back, and what? You know what I mean? So I feel like there's got to be some humbleness. But hopefully you chose a partner. Prayerfully you chose a partner, or you will choose a partner that has the word you used is grace.
Grace. Mm-hmm. Understanding, because we all human at the end of the day.
Right.
So we all go through the same shit. We have feelings and emotions. We got to understand that about each other. That's why I don't like to get on high horses and say somebody's wrong or this, you that, you ain't shit. I'll be like, no, we human. We all fuck up. And we need to show our fuck ups. Because when we hide them, they make it think that we don't have them. I tell my daughter that, I'm like, look, I mess up. Your daddy ain't perfect. And I apologize to you when I mess up. If I made you feel some way. We don't like to do that. My parents didn't do that to me. They ain't like, I'm your parent. I don't do what the fuck. Right. So we got to be more vulnerable with everybody.
We do.
About ourselves. Exactly. Like, yo, I came up short right here, so I'm gonna work on it. Yeah. Not
everybody. It is what it is.
A lot of people ain't doing that.
People ain't doing that, bro. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So we gonna hide it, and then we gonna act like we on a high horse.
I'm gonna blame somebody else.
When shit come down, we gonna cover it up.
Right.
So I think that's my problem overall. I agree with you that the celebrities or these everybody is a detective. Everybody is a
expert,
influencer. Everybody is a reporter. Everybody is in this day and age. They are relationship or they're life coaches, right?
Right.
So I think as a community, on your third marriage,
right.
You cheated on one on the way out.
But
you
now
got
you're
all
an expert.
these kids, but and hey, some of those people make great experts.
Right.
They do.
But
those are the ones that are caring and loving and understanding, and they bring a sense of humbleness. Steve did shake a lot of fingers, and he did say that the answer to a single woman's problem is being married. And nigga, no, it's not.
That's not true.
It's not.
And I don't want to act like a man. I don't want to think like a man.
Right,
I don't want no parts of that because I am.
I need my woman to be a woman. Shit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now I might be
feminine.
I don't want to think like a man. I want to think like a woman.
We compliment each other. It's a compliment. It ain't we supposed to.
So I never bought into that. I love the movie.
Me too.
But I never bought into the concept of
I
thinking
love
like
Megan
a man.
Good.
The book, though.
Man.
The book was
never bought into the book because, and I never read it.
Me neither.
I never
It took
read
a craze, but I
think I have it at the house somehow for free. But
You read
I
it?
never read it.
You always got everything for free, girl.
Right.
But I do want your opinion as a young woman.
Right.
And I don't want to put anything on blast, so you share what you want. But as a young woman out here, see, we already kind of settled. So we went through a lot of shit already. And now we probably are looking at, polygamy and we're going back to Africa where maybe we can have 2 or 3 relationships or, I don't know. But a lot is evolving with the older generation that we feel like we're a lot more open. I mean, I heard Anyala Benyat, she said, I wish I had have known what I know now. I ain't worried about my husband being out there. Let him do what he gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't mean it like that, but what she was saying was, let's be able to have a conversation about it. I don't want to attack you. And now I'm either pushing you towards that woman or I am attacking you in a way that we will never recuperate.
Right. So or I'm trying to box you in and then you're going to do what you do when
as
you
a
get
young
free.
woman. Because these streets is rough.
They are rough.
This is y'all world, like, so to speak.
Yeah, really.
It is rough. I do feel like times have definitely changed when it comes to a relationship and cheating, especially like they said with social media, because there's so much temptation now when you're looking online. And I just think it really does, you have to have conversations with who you're with at the end of the day. And now at this point, kind of ahead of time, like, look,
what you into?
Right, what you
thinking about?
Because you never know what your woman might be into. We might be open, you know what I mean? So you don't have to necessarily sneak around. I just think, and if you feel like you do, then it's not for you. But I do think that we need more conversation, more real conversations up front.
People don't talk these days.
They
People
don't.
do everything on social media.
Expectation, bro. They expect you to do that shit. They expect you to do it.
So
who expects who to do what?
Using the gender roles. Like going on a date. Women expect men to pay. Correct?
You damn skippy.
Expect. So, okay, you spec. Men take that time. You spec. And lay that. But what I'm saying is, she said it.
Talk about it.
You don't talk.
Right.
You talk about it. You talk.
A man might be like, hey,
you talk about sex when you first meet somebody. What you think gonna end up in?
Or what you think that's
so when it's done, when the sex is done,
then there's nothing you got there. Whatever you leave with, you gotta always remember what you.
That ain't nothing left.
When it's done, when the sex is done, there's nothing there more left. It's gonna be out of here.
Most relationships are built on sex first.
Yeah,
that's the problem. But that's the problem.
And it could be a problem. It could be a problem. But it could not be a problem.
What about the talking first? What about the conversation? How you like to raise kids?
Let's talk while we sex. Like,
I was about to say, like, if you're doing that, then I get it. But if you just smashing it,
ain't no talking going on.
Like, what you doing?
Ain't no talking going on.
Hold on. Jezzi,
ain't no talking, just action.
Jazzy, we know you like to have sex.
Yeah.
Do it your
Blessed no.
That's because you middle aged too. You middle aged with us.
Okay, hold on, y'all. Wait.
Thank you very much.
No. Say that over. Say that over, my dear. What you say? Jezzi, what you say?
He be throwing me off, or he be throwing a little jab. What you doing?
That ain't a jab. That's just a joke.
It's a jokey jab.
It's a jokey jab.
Jokey jab. Facts.
But,
so
I don't even remember what you were talking about.
So anyway, we're kind of all over the board, but at the end of the day, when we talk about celebrities and their influence, we bring it home. Because, again, why do we care about Steve? Well, the reason we do is because a lot of people took your advice. So a lot of people are actually out here dragging Steve because they actually either started building a life based on the book. They changed their thought process based on his influence. So I think the community, although we respect his game in terms of what he's done in the comedic world, we can't take that away. It's like a R. Kelly type thing. No comparison, but it's we can't take away that you have the talent and that you built the empire you built, but you kind of tore the community down once you were exposed. And I believe he was exposed. I don't care how he walks away from this. Even if the rumors are wrong. He's been exposed because Steve, stop shaking your finger.
Right. That's the thing.
And we'll accept you back because we're the most forgiving community there is on earth.
You're absolutely
We
right.
are. That's a fact.
So
This
everybody take it away. It could be the lesson learned.
Yeah, just learn. If you learn from it, then it's all good.
We
then,
embrace you.
Then you'll learn not to point the finger so much.
I think other people learn from this too.
But does this make you not want to be married? Does that change your concept?
It doesn't.
If you find
because I wasn't listening to him no way. I was.
Right.
I just think you got to find the right person, and then y'all two got to decide what it is that y'all want. Not what your grandma did, what your mama had, what your friend got. All that is them. You got to find out what you and her or
what
her
do you
or
and
they.
I want.
He has just got out. It happens a lot. But
Exactly.
he just got out. But like he just said, you got communication, everything.
Communication. You got to talk.
Everything.
So talk before you have sex, Jazzy. Talk. Get to know him. See how he raises kids. Hey, it be things that I be telling my homegirls. I be like, look, what if his kids disrespect you? You don't even and he don't handle it the way you like. That could be a problem in a relationship.
Right.
Yeah. We don't think about that when we just thinking about like, yo, what if they could be 16?
Because here's what happens. I didn't put the kids to bed and shut the door. You don't even know the kids exist for the first year of our relationship. And now you sprung.
And you here now.
Hey, and y'all move together. And she nasty in them all.
And it's a more even touchy subject like him disciplining your children.
Right.
Some women want the men to buy the shoes, take care of, take them to school, football practice, but he can't touch them. How that work?
And Steve did the step up man thing, and I will give him this as well.
Right.
He adopted her children.
I
That's
think Steve
how much
was
he
a good
loved
dude.
her. He gave them children his last name. Lori wouldn't be anybody if it was not for her dad having the last name. We didn't know who Lori, and we didn't even touch on her. But Michael B. Jordan dropped a lot of gems about what he felt was going on in that household. He was kind of quiet about it, but he told his partners about it. He told his friends about it. And everybody was like, yeah, it ain't what you think it is in that household. And Lori is a product of her mother.
Now, that's true. That's true with everybody, I think. Now, we don't know people's households.
And I want to touch on that. There was a video, and it truly was them, and she was telling her daughter, don't settle, you're the prize.
And
I agree with that. I agree. So I'm not saying that Lori out here
that's where we're going to disagree, women.
I agree.
110 we disagree.
We're going to disagree right here. But go ahead and finish.
For another day.
It will be, but we can let's touch it.
Come back.
But let's touch on it real quick.
They ain't gonna touch it, and we can't touch him back.
So look at you, Jazzy.
I want my lick back.
Oh my God.
So, as a mother of 3 daughters, and they did have the luxury of having my dad around, and they had their grandfathers around. So it's not just this woman thing. They had testosterone around.
They had men around.
But I promote them to not settle. And what I mean by that is when you see the red flags, when you see the things that don't align with your spirituality, your morals, your whatever that compass is, when you get those spidey senses, all of those things run. So I think in a sense that's what she was telling Lori. And although Lori is dating public men, she's in a public spotlight. So any man she dates, she ain't had no babies by him, so she surely ain't tricked nobody.
Right.
She's a beautiful woman, so the men are at her disposal, and she's choosing one at a time.
And why not?
So it's not like they're all saying, oh, she cheated on me. She didn't. That's not what they're saying. Right. They're saying she got with him, and she left him for her own reasons.
Right.
I'm not mad at that.
No,
I think she hold it down like a woman's supposed to.
Okay.
She don't talk. She don't be. They be talking future. She shut up. You acting like a woman.
Yeah.
I think she hold it down. So I'm not saying that. But I disagree with y'all with women are the prize. I'm either say men are the prize.
We are.
I'm gonna say the relationship is the prize.
But
who's the prize in the Steve Harvey and Marjorie thing? Was he the prize because he had the money, or she the prize because she the trophy wife?
They were both the prize. He was a bag, a prize for her. She was the beauty, a prize for him.
Right.
And it worked for many years. Let's be clear.
And it still might work. They might work it out.
And it still might work.
They might work it out and behind the scenes and love one another.
Yep.
Right. And we're wishing.
But I think the relationship should be the prize. And we both got to come together to make this thing work. It's like a championship team. We're a team.
Exactly.
You can't be shooting. I'm the shooting guard. You supposed to pass me the ball, or you the center. You supposed to get the rebounds. Right. We can't be trying to
give me the ball.
And at the end of the day, we are pro-black love. So I pray for them. Absolutely. I pray for all the relationships that are trying to make it work.
Everybody.
And we
pray
have
for all of y'all.
Steve, we love you. We just get your shit together.
And don't be pointing the finger. That's all we saying. We ain't mad at you because I think you're a good dude. I just think you got ahead of yourself with.
Yeah. I think
Lord, you got one more relationship in you. Stop moving.
Anyway, thank you for joining us, Hot 702.5, with our guests, Undrafted All-Stars.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ladies.
Absolutely.
It was great being here. We need longer. Boss lady, give us 2 hours.
6 hours.
We do. I got a whole nother couple of questions in me that I really want to hear because I love hearing a man's perspective.
Yeah,
so
I got
thank
a
you
couple
guys
of
for
questions
coming.
too.
We same time, same place.
We'll come back when y'all invite us.
All right. Absolutely. You're welcome anytime. So Hot 702.5 with Jnine.
And Jezzi.
Jezzi.
And Tay.
And we out of here. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Bye.
It's low, but we got you, babe. Good night.
Peace out.
Sending love
Bye.
and blessings.
Bye, y'all.